Bit empty, don't you think? Good morning. It is really, really early. It's just gone past 6:15 in the morning. Starting from December 15th, 2024, there are two new services replacing the old in the city going to Brussels. I'm going to test out those two trains. I'm going to use the Eurocity Direct to Brussels and then going back to Amsterdam using the Eurocity. And I want to also compare to the other options. Are these two train options that good that all the other options are obsolete? Or should you still consider the other options? And to do that, I'm gonna do it as a bit of a race. I'm starting here, as you can see, at Dam Square. And I'm gonna start the timer here and see how fast it'll take to go to the Grand Place in Brussels. And do the same back in the evening, from Grand Place to the Dam Square. Let's do it. If you think I was joking, no, it's really that early. 3, 2, 1, and time starts now. But actually I couldn't even reach Brussels. When I left Amsterdam Zuid, the train broke down and we had to be evacuated. And while we wait to be evacuated, let's talk about these two new services. So, before 15th of December, if you wanted to go to Brussels using NS, only option was the Intercity Direct, which stopped at every major intercity station. This service is what the new trains are replacing. So in the new timetable, this intercity service will disappear, but will be changed by two new intercity services, the Eurocity Direct and the Eurocity. The Eurocity Direct starts from Amsterdam Zuid and only stops at Schiphol, Rotterdam and Antwerp before terminating at Brussels South. The Eurocity is almost the same as the old Intercity Direct, as in it stops at every single station as the Intercity Direct. The only difference is that it does not go to Amsterdam anymore, but it starts in Rotterdam. One huge positive about these two new services is that it now creates two new services going to Belgium. That is one train almost every 30 minutes to Belgium from Rotterdam. Now let's see if I'm still stuck in the train to Brussels. Actually, I just got evacuated and went to Breda. So basically, because I wanted to spend a full day in Brussels, and because of the evacuation, I couldn't spend a full day, but only like 3 hours, I decided to go to Brussels in another day. And cut to me to that other day, when I actually missed my goddamn train. I was to Brussels. I fucking missed it. Oh my fucking, I'm such a fucking idiot. Holy shit. I deserve all the punishments right now. Oh. Fucking hell. Yep, and that meant I had to take the slower, inferior option to Brussels. I had to take the slower Eurocity train, which will take longer. Alright, so I'll just say it takes around 2.5 hours to take the Eurocity Direct. But after a long ride, with a change in Antwerp, I finally arrived at Brussels Central Station. I have made it 1 hour later than I expected. 5-minute walk to the Grand Place. And after all of this, I finally arrived at the Grand Place in Brussels city center. Made it after almost 4 hours. Normally it would take 2.5 hours, trust me. I'll explore Brussels for a bit. I'll see you when I have to take the train back to Amsterdam. Back at the Grand Place. It's a bit more busy. A bit. Anyway, I had a great time in Brussels. I visited the biggest church in the Low Countries. That's rather big. I visited some giant metal balls. Those are some giant balls. Ate a waffle and many more things. Am I in Brussels or am I in Luxembourg? The sign says that I'm in both. And now we have to go to Brussels Central Station. Let's see how long it takes to go to Dam Square in Amsterdam with the normal Eurocity. Let's go. Now let's talk about tickets and how long the train trips actually take. For the Eurocity Direct to Brussels, I paid 15 euros. And for the Eurocity back to Amsterdam, I only paid 7 euros and 70 cents, which is cheap. And bonus fun fact, I bought these tickets 2 days prior to departure. But you might be wondering, if these tickets are so cheap, how long do these trains actually take? Well, on this map made by the NS, you can see how long both trains take. And you can see that the new Eurocity Direct will only take 2 hours to go to Brussels. And that is huge. The Eurocity, on the other hand, also takes 2 hours, but this is because it stops at a lot more stops and it makes detours to stop at Breda and Brussels Airport. But as this train only goes to Rotterdam, you have to take a separate train to Amsterdam, which adds time to the journey, meaning that if you want to use the Eurocity from Brussels to Amsterdam with a change in Rotterdam, the journey takes almost 3 hours. But a track that I used is to first take a regular city to Mechelen or Antwerp, which skips Brussels Airport, then change to the Eurocity to the Netherlands, but get out at Breda to take an earlier train that leaves earlier to Rotterdam to then take an earlier train to Amsterdam. This route actually takes just 2.5 hours, saving a bit of time. And now I have arrived at Amsterdam Zuid, and after taking a quick metro ride, I have finally arrived at the Dam Square again. Life hack. If you want to avoid the busyness, wake up at 6 a.m. And you have all these lines, but with no humans. Perfect. So just more than 3 hours from city center to city center, which is great. I believe it took only 2.5 hours by train, so 15 minutes from Brussels station to Gamblas, and then 50 minutes from Amsterdam Zuid to Dam Square. And what about the other options? Well, let's talk about the other options right now. Starting with don't. It's too expensive for just 20 minutes faster. Another option is the Flixbus, leaving from here Amsterdam Sloterdijk Station, which is just a couple of minutes with the train from Amsterdam Central Station. Prices start actually very cheap. If I want to book a ticket for tomorrow, I can actually find a ticket to go to Brussels North for under 10 euros, which is insanely cheap. And it's not like these buses are crap. They have modern amenities like modern Wi-Fi and power outlets to charge your phone. One word. Don't. Flights to Brussels from Amsterdam Schiphol are crazy expensive. No, please don't. And the time you have to be here before your flight departs, you could have already been in Brussels with the new Eurocity Direct. Don't. Only if you have a connection at Brussels Airport for another plane. But just going to Brussels solely by flying is not recommended. Please don't. Driving takes as much time as the Flixbus to Brussels, and you also have to worry about parking. And you have to drive yourself too, so you cannot have a great time in Brussels, if you know what I mean. It's only really worth it in terms of money if you're taking a couple of other people with you.
the gas becomes cheaper than the ticket price for the Flixbus. But if you're just going alone or with someone else, it's still cheaper to take either the train or the Flixbus.
One final thing, the NS actually released a brochure about everything about this new service if you want to read more about it. The link to the brochure is in the description. Now, what would I say is the best way to go to Brussels? Well, I'd say the Eurocity trick. So, the Eurocity, but not the entirety from Rotterdam to Brussels, but what I did. So, having a lot of transfers, reaching Brussels in 2.5 hours. For that price, reaching Brussels in 2.5 hours by train is still insane to me. So, I'll still recommend you guys do that if you have a subscription. If you do not have a subscription, it might be the best option to take the Flixbus, as you'll reach Brussels in under 3 hours, which is still great. And that's it. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!